football, but right, so you come through the youth ranks at Queen of the South, but you've only picked up to about 16. Was you ever kind of scouted before that?
I was in a few teams when I was younger, a few trials and that. I was actually in at Queen's when I was 12. The coach at the time, Jim Grant, he asked me to go down, and me and my dad went down and down for a week. Twice, Tuesday, Thursday it was, night, and they wanted me to sign, but at that time I was playing at Kingsmead. My pals were out at Kingsmead. I just felt Dumfries was too far to travel to. So, and I just wanted to play with my pals at the time and join my football. Also went into Celtic as well for a year, and I was up there Tuesday, Thursday. That was one night at Mary Hill and one night in at Scotstoun. But I just decided again that I wanted to go back and play with my pals. I wasn't really, it was just training. There was no game around at the weekend. There was, so Craig Clark as well was up there at the time, who played with me at Valspar. He was up as well.
So you want to at Cumnock just now?
No, it's a different Craig Clark, so it is. But no, they were the kind of teams I was in it, and then I was 16 playing with Valspar, and I got asked to get down to a trial game with Queens. And I thought, I'll go and have a go at it. They were playing Cumnock that day, the Sunday, and luckily the first team manager, John Connolly, was in the stand.
Spotted you.
And it just went for there. So.
Brilliant. So how good was that Valspar team? Did you win anything?
We were really good in terms of youth football. Won the Glasgow League, went a few tournaments down to Fartley Bay, won that. Won the Roselle tournament as well. Got to semi-final of Scottish Cup.
That's decent.
And I think we went to Sweden as well, the Gothia Cup, but that was like pro youth teams we were playing against, so it was. But
a lot of football playing that. I've heard the Sweden one.
That's a good setup as well, so it is.
Good. So that team, you had Kurt Broadfoot playing with you,
Kurt played as well in the Valspar team. I think Kurt was maybe only there for a year and a half or 2 years. We played in the same team. There was a couple of players at that time that had maybe just come back from pro youth. Alan Ritchie, who was at Cumnock, and Craig Clark, who was at Cumnock as well. They come back in the team. It was a good team.
So, see, when you went to Queen's, British group was you going into?
I went into I'd have been 16 at the time, so that was like 17s team, so it was 16-17s.
Right, what was the kind of step up for boys club to the pro youth, was it?
Well, to be honest, the Valspar team was a really good team. Some right good boys in it. The Queen's team was, then you went, obviously when you went into Queen's, I played the full season with Valspar and then signed up in an S form to go and play with Queen of the South. And there was obviously, we weren't playing the likes of like your top elite youth teams near we were. It was like East Fife, Stirling Albion, teams like that. So it was
same kind of level.
Same kind of level. So it was kind of, I wouldn't say that it was a great step up for the Valspar team, because that Valspar team played in the Glasgow League, and that was
a tough league.
That was a
you
tough
settled
league.
In alright, right. So you made your debut in the league against Arbroath in 2003. How did you feel when the gaffer shouted you from the bench?
Well, I'd been in training prior to that for a couple of weeks. Came and watched a few games, so I had to kind of got into training, and then it was leading up to that week. It was a midweek game. I think I was in the squad leading up to that, a couple of games before it, and then they told me you'll get your opportunity once we're safe. So Queens ended up safe, played Arbroath that night, and my way into the club, he pulled me and says, I'm putting you in the bench tonight. So he did, so no, it was good. And I kind of thought at the time, obviously put me in the bench, I experienced, and I'll probably not get on. But no, the way the game panned out, I get the last 12 minutes or something, so it does.
Superb. So it was John Connolly gave you your debut, obviously. What was he like as a coach? Was he good?
I like John, the gaffer, because he was my first, obviously, senior manager. And luckily, as I say, that trial game I came and watched, he was in the stand that day and he asked about me. He came and spoke to me, so kind of, because maybe, I don't know, he played in the wing and I played in the wing at the time as well, so I don't know if he maybe kind of seen something similar and he just kind of took me aside and things at training and helped me in regard to my game. But no, he was good for me.
Good. Well, you played under, I think it was 9 managers in your 12 years at Queen's. And there's some big names in there like Gus McPherson and Jim McIntyre, James Fowler, Alan Johnson and even Ian McCall. But how do you think he's went through so many managers?
Well, I didn't actually play under Gus, that was the year I went to Dunfermline.
Oh, is that right?
So it was,
right.
The rest I played under. I think probably if you looked at the list of managers there, I think only maybe 2 of them out of the full list maybe left Queen's. But the other one, left through mutual consent or whatever.
Right.
But the rest, they all went on, maybe to the Premier League. Alan Johnson went to Cumnock, Jim McIntyre went to Ross County, Gordon Chisholm went to Dundee, who were trying to get into the Premier League at the time. So they all I think maybe they seen Queen's as a kind of stepping stone for themselves.
So who did you enjoy playing under the most?
Well, I liked, obviously, Gaffer John Conley. He gave me my first go at it. I liked playing in that team. We were part-time when I played in that Queen's team. Really good boys. I was probably, me, Wally Gibson came through the same youth team, who's the Queen of South manager just now. We were the only 2 young boys that came into that team. The rest was all older, experienced boys, and it was a right good team, right good camaraderie in the team. Bit of a lion's den, getting into the dressing room at first, but you get that, so you do. You have to learn quick, so you do to step up to that.
So see, being part-time, did you have a job out with?
I worked in the emergency one in Cumnock. That was a manufacturer of fire appliances, so I worked in there until I went full-time with Queen's.
Right. Well, your first goal was in the League Cup in September 2003 against Ross County. Do you remember it?
I do, because that was, I think, the Saturday. We were away to St Mirren and Derek Lyle got injured, and I was obviously still just kind of young at this point, just trying to break into the first team. So with a bit of experience on the bench, and I'm thinking he's not putting me on, but he put me on. Came on, I think I came on first half, and maybe 30 minutes into the game. That was probably why I kind of thought, he's not going to put a young boy on, a bit of experience, because St Mirren were going for the league that year as well. And I came on and played really well. Then it was a Tuesday night up at Ross County. Derek Lyle was still injured at the time, and I thought, no, I'm not going to get it. It'll be somebody else that'll get in, and he put me in. And luckily, I think it was Mary a cross. Rather than a shot.
Right. So you became a regular and a fan's favourite at the club, but was there any other interest at other clubs to try and sign you?
No, you hear wee things, but nothing ever came like concrete or anything until obviously I moved on to Dunfermline. I moved on to Dunfermline in 2011. 2011-12 season it would have been. That was the only time I can some concrete actually happened. You obviously, I heard wee things, wee rumours here and there, but nothing ever came of it.
Any other Premier League teams?
At the time that were interested, St Mirren were interested at the time.
Did you win?
So, well, I chose Dunfermline. I went and met Jim McIntyre. St Mirren never really kind of, they spoke to my agent and that at the time, but it was I never got a face-to-face meeting or anything. When I went and met Jim McIntyre, that was kind of it for me, the way he wanted to play the game and where he seen me play. I thought this would be a better fit for me.
Right. Oh, so back at Queen's anyway, you played Aberdeen in the Scottish Cup final in 2008, and I think you scored one of the goals in the 4-3 win. What was it like playing in that kind of game?
The semi-final against Aberdeen, no, really good. I think everybody at the time, we came in around early that year in the Scottish Cup, so the round before we played Dundee in the quarter final, and I got a booking. And I'd previously already had a booking. So no, well, I thought I was going to be suspended, but I'm not in any of the pictures in the dressing room or anything after the game against Dundee, because my first thought was, I need to find out. I don't want to miss this. So I was straight into the office and asking the secretary at the time, Ewan Lithgow, what's the situation here? And he told me, no, because we've come in, you're alright.
Right.
So it went faking I don't know if I believe him kind of thing. Am I going to miss this, because this might be the biggest game I'll ever play in.
Exactly.
But No, luckily for me, it was alright. Then we played Livingston, the midweek game, about 2 weeks before it. So that was like the Tuesday, and then we played Stirling Albion the Saturday, and then it was the Scottish Cup final the following Saturday. And then the Tuesday against Livingston, I get sent off.
Oh, right.
So I'm thinking, I'm going to be suspended. But it was 2 bookings, so I only missed the 1 game, which was the Stirling Albion the Saturday. So I was kind of dicing with death out. But I was the only player in the team that was, if I'd got a booking in the semi-final, I would have missed the final. There was no other player in that team. So I was kind of walking a wee bit of a tightrope. But the game itself, it was kind of end to end, and at one point I'm sitting thinking, I've scored 3 goals against a Premier League team, and we're not winning. But that team was something special. It like experience, it had youth, it had energy. There was boys that could play. There was boys that had played at the top level. Stevie Tosh, Stephen Dobie had been about. Your captain Jim Thompson, experience.
Did Dobie score in that game?
No, in the 4-3 he went off early, and John Stewart came on for Stephen Dobie, so it did.
What's he doing now?
He's at Blackpool coaching. I think he's coaching the under 18s or under 20s. So he is.
So that game, that set you up for your first ever Scottish Cup final against Rangers, and he's battled pretty decently against them, and you only lost 3-2.
Aye, 3-2. Aye, beat 3-2.
What's the build up to that kind of week like?
Well, we because we were the league below, our season finished 4 weeks before the final. So we were still, I think we get the first week off, and then we went away to Spain for a week training, and then we come back, and obviously we're trying to get games, but you were playing teams in the Premier League, like you were maybe playing the young boys, so it wasn't competitive. It was a kind of end of season game for them. But we had players who were trying to still stay match fit
for the game.
But also you maybe didn't want to get injured and risk something there you did as well, because nobody wanted to miss out in that game. But the build up was really good. The week before, they obviously do your media stuff, go to Hampden, things like that. But no, it was kind of surreal, because obviously you're thinking, I think most folk thought that our final was the Aberdeen game, and probably didn't give us a chance to win the Aberdeen game. But as I say, that team was, as I've been through it, different. So it did, and we believed we could get a result, and we believed we could get a result in the final. So it did, and unfortunately we just fell short.
But you see, I mean, it's 2 each until the last 20 minutes. Did you have a chance at that point?
Well, we were doing 2-0 at half time, and we didn't give a good account of ourselves at all. And I can just remember getting in at half time, and the manager saying, "You suddenly turned up, and all your family's in the stand, and you're letting them all down." And we came out the second half and pulled it back 2 each. And when it went to 2 each, and we went back to the centre, I actually thought we would win. We would go in, because we had the ascendancy. But unfortunately, Rangers scored. Chris Boyd got a third fair corner, a header. They went up 3-2, and I think after that the game just kind of it just drained us mentally, and I think the game just kind of petered out itself. So it did.
But it's a great achievement. That's the only times I've been in the Cup
final. That's the only time Queen of South have been in the Scottish Cup final.
So that Cup final, that got you into Europe the following season, is that right?
Yeah.
You played a team for Denmark?
We played FC Nordsjælland for Denmark.
What was it like?
They were really good. They were managed at the time by ex-Celtic player Morten Vicost. So they were. But we still felt we had a chance of beating them, and we played them because Queen's Park wasn't suitable for European football. We had to take the game to Airdrie. So we did the home leg. We played at home first and the away second. And in the home game, we were probably a better team, but we just one of the nights we didn't take our chances. We did, and we get beat. And then we went over there, and we missed a couple of chances early doors. I think I missed one as well. In the second game, we didn't turn up as much as we could, and we probably felt coming home that it was a wee bit of a missed opportunity. So it was. But then a few years after that Nordsjælland were actually in the Champions League as well, playing Chelsea and stuff. So they were on the group stage. It was a nice setup. So it was a good stadium and that.
So how did you get out there?
We got a flight out. We got
just a normal flight?
No, a chartered flight, Queen's
Oh,
got
right.
a chartered flight out, so they did.
Right.
So flew out there, stayed over, and then come back the night of the game.
Right. So a few years later, in 2010, you scored your first hat-trick against East Fife in the Challenge Cup. Do you remember all 3 goals?
Aye, 3 crackers.
Really?
Oh, no. The first one was, I think I just gambled, ball came into the box, he broke a boot. I think Wally McLaren at the time, he touched it. Then I've just gambled on it, breaking to me, and I've put it across the keeper, for inside, I think it was inside the 6-yard box with the left foot.
Right.
The second one, big striker, Derek Holmes. The ball's come up to him, he's chested it down to me outside the box, and I've just had a shot. It's went into the bottom right corner. Third one, same again, Derek Holmes, we're inside the kind of 6-yard box, he's lifted it over the keeper, and I've just run in and tapped it in.
Superb. You still got the ball?
I've still got the ball.
Or signed?
Aye, or signed.
Oh, right. So in 2011, you obviously left Queen's for Dunfermline. I think you touched on it, but how did that come about?
Well, just as I say, can you hear wee rumours in that? My daughter was born in March that year, 2011, and Queens were kind of a wee bit up and down, didn't know what was happening with them. And my agent got in touch with me around about end of April and says that obviously Dunfermline were wanting me to sign. I was out of contract at the end of the season, so I thought, right, I'll have a wee crack at it. I was 27 at the time, and I thought, now's the time to go and have a wee go and test myself and see what I'm capable of. And, I didn't want to regret it. I thought if chances fail, like you had to take them. So I did and see, and if it didn't work out, it didn't work out. But if it did, great. So got in touch, agent, then ended up meeting Jim McIntyre over the summer. Really, the way he sold the club to me, the way he wanted to play, and the way I was going to fit into that, and I thought, this would be a good fit for me, and ended up signing.
Right, and I know, did you get Jim Jeffries as well?
Aye, I got Jim Jeffries.
And Billy Brown?
Billy Brown, aye.
What were they like? Were they decent?
Aye, well, some people like managers, some people don't. Personally, I didn't get on with Jim Jeffries due to just things he told me, and that it wasn't really kind of amicable.
Do you think you would have lasted longer with them if it wasn't him? Jim McIntyre stayed there?
Well, that season we kind of fought relegation. We didn't really get off to a good start, and we didn't win many games. We did, and I think we were kind of adrift at the time, so we were when Jim McIntyre got a sack and then Jim Jeffries came in. I was injured when Jim Jeffries came in as well, so I'd done my medial ligament, and it was maybe only about 5 weeks to go. I was obviously out for the rest of the season, so I come back pre-season.
Prove yourself again.
You kind of had to prove yourself again, and it just wasn't happening. There it was. Just a difference of opinions between the both of us, and then Alan Johnson was in at Queen's. Queen's got in touch with me, Partick Thistle got in touch with me to see what I was thinking. So ended up going back to Queen of South, and that year we won the league, the 2nd division.
Right. You see, when you were at Dunfermline, your debut was against St Mirren in the Premier League, obviously. What's it like playing in that division to the...
Aye, really good. Obviously it's different standard, need to be at it every week. Don't get time on the ball nearly day at all, but that's kind of generally the Scottish game. You don't really get time, you have to, it's quite sharp, so it is.
It's a lot of folks struggle when they come out here.
I think a lot of people come over and think they're going to get all the time in the world, but you don't get that in the Scottish game nearly day. But no, it was a different standard.
What's it like going to Rangers and Celtic within the full houses?
Well, I hadn't actually played at Ibrox any time because of the way the SPL works out. Obviously, you get one game. So it was like one game at Ibrox, and I was injured for that game, and it was 2 at Dunfermline, 2 games at Parkhead and 1 at Dunfermline. So it was because we didn't make the top 6. But so I didn't play at Ibrox. Went obviously as a player, and then went to Ibrox with Queens as a kind of coach at the time, helping James Fowler out because I was injured again. So that was in the Ramsden's Cup. In the Ramsden's Cup, and we won that night in penalties. But that was good. That was really good. I don't think many people gave us a hope as well. But obviously Rangers were a different team then. But I'm a boy Celtic fan, so got to Parkhead. I wanted to play at Parkhead, so I was desperate. That was one of my obviously ambitions growing up. And that was just, well, it was surreal. So it was really good, really enjoyable.
Brilliant. So your first goal for the club came against Dundee United. What was that like?
I think, if memory serves me right, I think that was maybe that was our first one in the Premier League. We won 1-0. I think the ball, Joe Cardle went down the left. He's beat a man. He's cut it back to the edge of the box, and I just thought, just hit it. Brilliant. Just hit it, and luckily it's went in. So
did you win the game?
I won the game 1-0, so we did.
Oh, superb. So you headed back to Queen of South for another 3 seasons, and you won the league, and I think you got into the Challenge Cup final.
Aye, we won the league that season. I went back, the second division, and I didn't play in the Challenge Cup final because I was cup tied.
Oh, right,
Dunfermline. I'd sat on the bench for Dunfermline in the August against Cowdenbeath. I didn't get on.
Was that count then?
Aye. No, I think the rules changed now, but at that time it did. If you were in the match day squad, it counted as being cup tied. So I didn't play in the Challenge Cup final. Great for the club, great for the fans. Thoroughly deserved it. So
did you get a medal though? No.
No. Well, did I get a medal? I think I maybe did, but I think I probably gave it to somebody because it's no.
Why you?
Because I didn't feel that.
It was yours.
I didn't feel as if it was right to take a medal, neither did, because I didn't play in the games that got us to final or playing any of the games up to then, neither did, and I just didn't feel that it was right.
To take one?
Aye.
You still got the other two, your league and your sports?
Aye. I've still got them, aye.
Right, so your last game for Queens was against Cumnock. Your teammates gave you a guard of honour. How did that feel?
Brilliant. So it was brilliant. It was kind of, that season, season before I tore my groin, and it took me something like 16 to 20 weeks to get back, and that was just to running. And then we went into that summer, and I come back from my groin, played the rest of the season out, and then I could still feel my groin a wee bit, it was still tight at times. Went into the summer, and I tore my cartilage in my knee pre-season. So I ended up having to get an operation in that, and I kind of thought to myself, I was 30, I just turned 30, and I kind of thought, is this maybe injuries now catching up with me? Is it maybe time to look for something else and just maybe a wee bit more security away from football? So I applied for a few jobs, no with intent, just to see, and but I'd already signed a new deal with Queens, like a 2-year deal at that point.
Right.
And I got offered, so that was I'd signed a new deal on the March, and I think I'd applied for a job around about the December time with a couple of things through OpenReach, who I'm with just now, and another couple of things, and they phoned me in the May to see if I would go for an assessment day. So I went for that. I thought I was kind of I've signed a new deal, I'll go for the interview, and I thought, I'll go for the interview, it's experience, and see what happens. Went for the interview, then went on holiday, and they phoned me when I was on holiday to offer me a position. But I was kind of, I don't know what to do, because I was still too young, I'd given something up. So kind of, for about 3 weeks, I didn't know what to do. They didn't need an answer until, I think it was 6 weeks later or something, because I'd been on holiday. They weren't looking for an answer. I thought, I'll go back into pre-season, still was kind of feeling my groin a wee bit tight, and I thought, do you know what, if this goes again, that's me. So it is. So I decided, and it was a lot of tossing and turning at night, going and getting advice as well, speaking to my parents, speaking to my wife, what to do. They were very supportive, and I just thought, no, it's just time, so it is. And went into training, told the manager, he obviously asked me then in the day, have a wee think. That was James Fowler, and Gavin Skelton was his assistant at the time, saying we can take, have a wee think. I said, no, listen, that's me, made my mind up. Phoned the chairman on the way home as well, because obviously I knew the directors and the chairman throughout the years, thought I'd give them their place, phoned him as well. And at the time, to play Cumnock, that was a Monday. I went in, I think they're playing Cumnock on the Tuesday night. And I said to the manager at the time, I says, look, you're building for the season. I'm not bothered about being stripped or anything. You've got to look after your team, you're trying to build things. He says, no, definitely. And I says, no, I don't want any fuss or anything here or there. I don't know that type of guy. Just you concentrate on building for what you're trying to achieve this season. But anyway, put me on the bench, and I think I got on with maybe 35 minutes to go. So I did last 35-40 minutes, just after half time. I got on and
feel alright?
I did feel alright, played well. Kind of thought after it, what am I doing? Am I daft here? And then the boys gave me a Guardiola, and it was kind of sad, so it was, because it was a big part of my life down at Queen's, so it was, and thoroughly enjoyed my time down there. Many a great night, many a great time out as well, and met plenty of people. So I did, and it was just sad that it was kind of coming to an end kind of thing. And the realisation didn't set in, because I had 2 weeks off after that. And I think that's the first time I had 2 weeks off in July.
Oh really?
Since I was 18-year-old. So it was, and it was just kind of surreal. I didn't know what to do, what am I meant to do? Do I go and keep fit? Or do I just kind of hang with it? But I always kind of said at the time, once I was by with that I would love to come back and play for my home team. So I would,
did you ever get a testimonial?
I got my testimonial year at Queen's, 2014.
Who was that against?
Well, what I done was current team against the cup final team, get the cup final team back.
Right.
So I did. Really enjoyable.
Good day?
Good day, it was good.
So you're sitting 16th in the appearance chart with 339 appearances for the club at Queen of South, and you played in the Scottish Cup final and you've won the second division. What's your favourite memory of your time at Queen's?
I think the semi-final was Scottish Cup. So it was just the whole occasion. It was just
the underdog
experience. It was just brilliant. Something that was great to be a part of. And the team still got its same group chat and that just now, so it is, and it was a right good team. So it was right good banter in the dressing room, and it was just a good team spirit.
Brilliant. And you coached for the Queens, didn't you?
I kind of helped out a wee bit as well, and done the youths for a bit as well, and helped the reserves out. So I did.
Did you get your badges?
No, I didn't get through. That was the kind of plan. If I'd have stayed on, I was going to go through the badges, so I was in go down that kind of road. But no, I didn't go and sit any of the licences around at the time. So
your final stop was your home club, Cumnock Juniors. What was it like coming back here? Was you kind of nervous because it's your hometown?
Oh well, as I say, I'd always say that if I was by with professional senior football, then this was where if Cumnock wanted me, this was where I'd want to play. I can spoke to a few junior teams at the time, but I can, at the end of the day, this is
your hometown.
This is where I was going to play. So
and then you obviously taking it on as manager as well. Do you enjoy that?
Different for playing. I was kind of player manager, and it's kind of hard to balance it too. Especially I take my hat off. I've been part time as well, but no for majority of my career, just at the start. But trying to juggle managing, playing, work. It's no easy. It's trying to find that balance, and it was kind of tough to do so as well, because you're trying to make phone calls, you're trying to arrange training, trying to maybe sign players, trying to arrange to meet players.
Tons of stuff in the background.
I like the coaching. I like the coaching side of things. So I like being out in a park and taking drills and setting things up and stuff like that. The kind of management side, leave that to somebody else.
So it's like playing Talbot?
It's good. Obviously, right good derby, right good history between the two teams. That's obviously the big game, so it is.
Do you think that's the biggest derby you played in? Is it Cumnock Talbot?
And the juniors are definitely.
Well,
I played Gretna at Queen's, so I did, and that was classed as a big derby. So it was Gretna had just come up through the leagues, had spent a bit of money. First game, it was a bumper crowd at Palmerston. They beat us, and then we went down to Radio and beat them, and that was some experience. So it was. Cumnock Talbot's a good game as well. especially when you win.
Ah, exactly. So when you were playing with Cumnock, you got into the Scotland junior team. Who did you play against?
We played against the, I think it was the Republic of Ireland. I'm sure we played against the Republic of Ireland,
Right.
Isle of Man, and who was our team?
Was that a wee tournament you played in?
Aye, it was a tournament, aye.
Did you win it?
So it was, Republic, no, the two Irish teams were in it, sorry.
Oh, right.
Aye, two Irish teams were in it. No, Northern Ireland won it, so it did. I think they beat us in goal difference.
Oh, did they?
Aye, I played the first game
Aye.
and had to come off. I pulled my calf muscle, so I didn't play the last two games.
Oh,
Yeah, I
right.
did.
Is that the only time you played for Scotland? You played
Aye.
in the Dunders?
Aye.
No?
The only time I came close was when I was at Queen's and Rainer Bonoff was the manager at the time for Scotland under 21s.
Right.
And he came down to watch me and I broke my ribs.
Oh.
But at that time, if I'd have got into that squad, I was coming 21.
Aye.
If I'd have got into that squad,
Yeah.
I could have played for the full year after that.
Oh.
But because I turned 21 at the
Aye.
end of May,
Can you get into
I
it?
couldn't go in after that.
Oh.
I could, but if I'd have played that game,
Aye.
then I would have been able to play for the full year, even when I turned 21. But then once I turned 21, I wasn't able.
Oh.
And I broke my ribs, so that was me out for 6 weeks, 6 to 7 weeks. So it was
So, who's the kind of toughest player you played against?
toughest. There's been a few, like it's hard to name one because I've played against some good players. In the like the Premier League, they're at that level for a reason because they're good players. Championship, it was right hard and competitive, so it was like some right good teams in there. St Johnstone at the time had some right good teams, and Inverness at the time had some right good players. It's hard to name one player.
Is there anybody you like playing against because you kind of get the better of them?
No, there was never one team or one player where I thought I would play against him every week. I was just at the time when I came through Queen's, I was just a young boy that just played football and
just enjoyed it?
I just enjoyed it. I was thin as anything and I was just work rate and just worked as hard as I could and try to get by players, bit of pace and put the ball in the box, try and score goals if I could get in the end of some, try and create goals. And it was never a case of I would like to play this team every week or I would like to play against that guy every week. I just loved being out in the football park and playing football at the time, so I did.
What was the best ground you played at?
Parkhead.
Parkhead, just because you supported it.
Aye.
Well, cheers Paul, thanks for that.
Cheers.